Hello. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Happy where I am, anyway. 4th of July. No, it's not the 4th of July. It's the 3rd of July. I don't know why I'm getting ahead of myself. It's still Friday. Apparently, though, today is a holiday. I work as a consultant, so holidays never really come on my radar. Thank you for the likes. So I actually thought since Saturday was a holiday that people would still be like moving today. But no, today is a holiday. Everything is shut down, at least where I am. So for those of you enjoying, today is a holiday. Enjoy it. Although it is hot and we are in the middle where I am in a heat wave, it still is beautiful. It still is summer. I was talking about June flowers. Of course, now we're in July, but summer flowers. And this person is a Pisces, and she said, "At least you have flowers." He said in February, there are no flowers for birthday boys and birthday girls. Of course, she didn't say that, but for the birthday. But one thing I think is so beautiful about the winter, at least if you're in a spot where there's 4 seasons, and in February, there's something very beautiful about this darkness. It's like everything, the whole world is laid down to its bare bones. And nothing is more, do I say magical? Is that too cliche? Nothing is more awe-stricken or something that inspires awe than when the first snow covers the mountains, covers the woods, and then you have those times between the sunrise and the sunset, and the snow takes on so many colors, and the trees become not just brown, but in that shade, in that reflection of light, play of light and shadow, they become purple and blue. And then I don't know, it's like the whole world almost becomes like an aquarium. To see shades of blue between the sunrise and the sunset, I think that's very lovely. Of course, very cold, but very lovely. Anyway, so this is a reading for Pisces. Pisces, the Piscean collective. If you have a Pisces sun, a Pisces moon, a Pisces rising, Pisces 8th house and 12th house. I include the 8th and 12th house in these readings because we're talking about the energies that are around you. But, think about your chart, your natal chart, and think about how the energies are reflected in your chart and go from there. All right, this is only a guide. Essentially, if you have significant Piscean energy, and also too, if you have Piscean energy in places that are not overt, well, then this is a reading for you. All right, Pisces. A secret Pisces should know. I have Ace of Wands, Pisces. I have 2 of Cups. Of course, 2 of Cups is Cancerian energy. We are in the midst of Cancerian season. Maybe, Pisces, you know somebody with significant Cancerian energy. Will you meet someone, Pisces, with someone with significant energy? Will a collaboration, a new chapter begin with someone who you know who could have significant Cancerian or Aries energy, Pisces? Cancerian and Aries energy are relevant here. All I know with Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, Piscean energy. Something's about to go and get started for you, Pisces, something that you have been working towards quite diligently, a long-term plan, Pisces. Finally organizing itself with the aid, with the assistance, with the collaboration of another, or with the beginning, the meeting of another. Thank you for the likes. Pisces, let's find out more. You know, Pisces, we just had a full moon a couple days ago. And the energies, especially with the strawberry moon, which we just had, the energies with the strawberry moon leading up a couple days before, or should we say the time period leading up to a strawberry moon, specifically a strawberry moon, the time frame following a strawberry moon. Well, there's movement afloat, Pisces. Movement towards ultimate fulfillment, wish fulfillment, abundance, fruitfulness. It is an auspicious time. So we have Two of Cups. I have Judgment. Eight of Pentacles. Emperor with High Priestess. Pisces, you may have been disappointed. Not necessarily in this energy, I wouldn't call it recent. Five of Swords. Five of Cups tells me fives may be significant in this energy, Pisces. Fives and twos. So keep an eye out on those two numbers. I would definitely say fives and twos between High Priestess at Two of Cups and Judgment. And then the fives here, Pisces. Well, in this energy, we're talking about, is it changing your actions or changing how you deal with people? Your tolerance level, Pisces, has changed, both for those who you know and those who you meet. It could almost say in this energy, Pisces, maybe either people you know or people you overhear, people who you're around, a certain level of, pardon my strong language, maybe it's not quite this strong, but almost disgust. And like, how could, it's like the inadequacy of it all. And you are more and more clearly seeing that, as opposed to before, maybe you'd be involved in your own business. Wait 1 second. I have little furry trolls behind me, and one was clawing on something he knows he should not claw on. Anyway, going back to the five energies, it's like your tolerance for BS has gone down. And with that tolerance for BS, you just are sort of seeing people's true colors without necessarily also seeing any possible good points. Their bad points are outweighing the others. I'm not saying this is jaded energy. This is just really seeing the situation as it is. And Pisces, the rose lenses have dropped so long ago, Pisces, and seeing every single reality or every single detail for the honest reality it is. That's kind of what this energy is. Fives, your perception is changing. Things are becoming very much clear. Even if before, if you could be busy with your own thing and sort of overlook it, now you can't. You see everything quite clearly. And therefore you see connections, Pisces. connections that you've had, connections that you could have. You see where it's going quite clearly, Pisces. And it's like, do I have the space, the headspace for such uselessness or BS, whatever you want to go and phrase in that? Maybe that's a little too strong. Maybe it could be stronger. It's a collective reading. But this is definitely in your energy here. You're just seeing people for who they are, seeing situations for who they are. And it's like, it's not even worth it. It's a waste of time. And then why are so many people so inadequate? Why are people bothering with their time why are people using their time so stupidly? It's a little bit of that energy too. Anyway, High Priestess is also Cancerian energy. Piscean energy. I read my High Priestess, although you could use it as water in general. I read my High Priestess as Pisces. Anyway. So, with the divine intervention of my cat scratching things he should not scratch. There was something else I was going to say here, Pisces, but we'll let that go. Something to anticipate here. So in that energy, in really becoming more and more focused, Pisces, on yourself, your duties. This is loving yourself too, valuing your time, realizing that the time you have, at least on this earthly plane, is not infinite. So therefore, why waste it, Pisces, with stupidity? Maybe, as I said, it's not quite the right word, but you get the idea. This is like investing back into yourself, rebuilding yourself, improving yourself, strengthening yourself. And ironically, Pisces, in that energy, this is building or creating the space, Pisces, to build, to collaborate, to network, to connect with worthwhile partnerships. A secret you should know, Pisces: change is coming. Also, too, let me say, in this overall energy, Pisces, those who you have dealt with up to now, they need to level up themselves to go and keep themselves in your immediate attention, in your circle. If they let themselves go, if they are, for lack of a better word, stupid, inadequate, whatever, they are part of the past, Pisces. Part of the past which is easily discarded and going on towards the future. Anyway, Pisces, here is a secret you should know. I see a connection coming up, worthwhile connections. As I said, if those who know you want to go and keep in your memory banks, they will step up to improve, because I see a lot of weeding going on, getting rid of those unnecessary elements in your garden. And as Pisces, you reinvest that energy and attention into you. Perhaps stubbornly so, Pisces. Self-love to the 110%, Pisces. Go and focus on self-love for yourself. Ruthlessly, Pisces. Love yourself. Completely, Pisces. Be self-absorbed, Pisces, with your own improvement, with the energy that before you have spent thinking about non-essential things. Focus all of that, channel all of that back to oneself. And Pisces, as you engage in more and more concise and concentrated self-love, self-improvement into yourself, Pisces, I do see people here, but they're people who match your determination, Pisces. And with that, well, obviously there's an opportunity. What, Pisces, have you been working towards and for? There's a change here happening for you, Pisces. Now, for some of you, this could obviously be work and leadership. For others, Pisces, maybe this is a collaborative partnership. This could be a relationship. I mean, a personal relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, professional relationship, whatever, right? All that is here in this first level exploration of this reading. So take that where you will. But I will say too that in this energy a little bit, Pisces, if you've been thinking about exercising, building yourself up, learning new skills, reading more books, taking a more active voice, owning your space, owning your power. Anyway, all that, Pisces, is what you should lean into. Self-improvement, self-love, and some interesting connections and opportunities will result. That's a secret you should know. Looks very exciting, Pisces. This is asking you in this energy, thank you for the likes. This is asking you, Pisces, in this energy, remain very focused. And Pisces, again, the more you invest in self-love towards yourself and your priorities, the more that things are going to be opening up for you. People will open up the door for you, and people in similar energy. And this is energy of peers, Pisces, and leadership, not subordinate and superior or anything like that. Like company. Anyway, very interesting energy. Remember, Pisces, we just had that strawberry moon. And we are traveling right now, Pisces, still in the energy of that blessing. The days leading up and the days leading away. Thank you very much. I'll leave this up for a little bit of time, Pisces. I guess I'll just leave this here. And Pisces, if you ever see these readings up, know that the collective readings always happen in the beginning of the live. Maybe there's like a 1 minute or 2 minute or 3 minute delay. But yeah, just go back to the beginning of the live if I'm not there. Okay, that's where the message is. Until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for the like.